What's up?
Hello, how art thou?
I'm good. I can't complain. It's a good Wednesday.
It's a good Wednesday.
It's
Earlier today I was talking on my story. I was like, "Happy Tuesday!" Everybody was like, "It's Wednesday."
it's fun.
Damn it!
I'm saying ever since quarantine, every day is
It's the same day.
it's the same day. Like I keep on thinking today's Thursday. I'm just like, yo, it's still Wednesday. I just want the weekend to be here. I'm like, please just be here, and I'm all discombobulated.
That's
But
fine.
but Jasmine, how are you? How's your week going so far?
It's going really good. It's
Okay.
going really good. Hi to everyone in the comments. Hello. I'm trying to scroll without exposing my room. You know how you accidentally flip the
Uh-huh.
camera
Yeah, when you flip the
sometimes?
camera, it's
So
the worst.
I'm gonna rely on you.
Okay. No, but I want to ask you first. I want to. I have so much to talk about. We're gonna definitely talk about money and cars. Don't get me wrong. But we're gonna go through beginning to current. I just
Okay.
like going on a journey with you and just for everyone to learn everything about you. But first, I know you were born and raised on the south side of Atlanta.
Yes.
So, yeah, how was that? Because I feel like Atlanta is kind of, I feel like the new Chicago. I'm not gonna lie. It is very much one of the places to be and kind of want to be born in because all the hit makers are in Atlanta. Like
Yeah.
it's the new Mecca.
I definitely didn't even understand the capacity until I'm from Atlanta, but I've actually moved to California. I've been here for about 3 years in pursuit of acting and music, of
Hmm.
course. But I didn't realize how much of a staple it was because it was so normal to me. It was the only life I knew until I moved here, and people are like, where are you from?" And I'm like, "I'm from Atlanta." They're like, "Oh,
Right.
oh," and I'm like, "Oh." Yeah.
It gets so
So
funny though. It's so like interesting to hear that, like how you don't realize.
yeah, I definitely didn't realize a lot of things. It was definitely a culture shock. Hey, by the way, it was definitely a culture shock to me to move here and realize just how big the world is. I feel like LA and New York is a hub for other countries, to come in,
Hmm.
of course, and I I just it expanded my view of the whole world, like what was going on, and what Atlanta meant in that part, and how much of like a movement it was, and
Hmm.
it is.
Yeah, it's huge today. Like it's like I said, I wish I was born there. I'm not gonna lie. Like it is one of them places. Like it's just a good place. I feel it has a good balance of like the craziness of what we all want in entertainment, but it still
But
has
still
that
calm.
exactly still
Yeah,
calm. You could get away in a far suburb and be good,
yeah.
and you don't have to worry about it. Like just different. But I want to answer because I know, like at an early age, your mom put you in a lot of different things. When she put you in them, were you excited? Because I remember being in certain things where your parents sign you up. You're like, really, mom? Like, do I have to? Like, were you passionate about everything she wanted to put you in, or were you like, "Oh, okay, I like to do this, but I don't really want to do this, but I'll do it for you, mom."
I can honestly say I didn't do anything for my mom's sake.
Okay.
I drug her around town in Atlanta to take me places. Like she looked at what I naturally did, and I liked the community of like being in dance class with other dancers
Hmm.
and like developing friendships. I liked that kind of. I like even to this day learning from a teacher in my acting class and being around acting students and other successful actors. And
Yeah.
so I started developing like a process of learning that way, and I loved it. I'm not gonna lie, I loved it. I liked every single thing, especially I think the only thing I didn't pursue, obviously because I pursued music, was gymnastics.
Okay.
I was 10 toes down.
Like, what age though do you know? Because I know when you're a kid, my parents did the same thing, put me in a lot of different activities just to keep, your mind going and
Yeah.
seeing what you like and what your career or passions are. Like, did you know, like, what age did you say, hey, I don't know necessarily what I want to do in the entertainment industry, but it's something I definitely want to, get into some way, somehow?
Um, Oddly enough, I feel I feel like it was always the plan. It
Okay.
was always the plan. Like, because it was a goal. Like, me training was for me to pursue. I never feel like I made a hard switch until, I will say, until I moved out of my parents' house and moved to California, and I was able to make, life decisions on my own, to where it's like, okay, is this really, really what you're going to do, for the rest of your life? And I
Hmm.
think that was a monumental shift for me. So, 23 years. It just took 23 years. That's all.
Right? It's no game. Like people think it's all, peaches and cream, which it sometimes is, but well, I guess what they see on the social media and, music videos and everything, but
It's a
behind the
balance.
scenes. Yeah,
It's a balance
it's
with life and then your career. And because the entertainment industry can take up so much aspects of life, it could be overwhelming at times, for sure.
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, like you said though, being you were started at a young age at 3, 4 years old, you got into classes, but I know your mom was in the industry as the business manager for Escape.
Yes.
So how like did you realize the advantages you had or like the disadvantages you had? Because a lot of people feel, you hear so many pros and cons about having someone in the industry and then, not. So what did you realize like, oh, whoa, this is an advantage for me because I could kind of meet, it's easier. I'm not gonna lie, it's dope.
Um, I will say there are both advantages and disadvantages. And some of the advantages I definitely did understand quickly, because I was able to seize opportunities, and just jump right on them. For example, me, dancing for background dancing for Tamar Braxton, like I didn't have to necessarily audition. I was around her naturally, so she trusted me and asked me to get 3 other friends, to
Yeah.
be the dancers for the tour. But I will say, some disadvantages are kind of like when you grew up most likely surrounded by a lot of creators, especially if they're already successful. It's hard to Sometimes it's hard to get help because people
Hmm.
think you're already helped by those people around you.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's not always the case. Not to say everyone around me was very generous in the capacity that they could be. So, but like, being an independent artist, some people were already under the assumption that I was signed, and I was like,
Yeah.
wait, no, like, wait, no, like, I'm doing my best to make this look professional, but I'm actually putting my own money into this. So those are the tricky balances you have. I look at somebody like Tiana Taylor, who, not to compare journeys in any way, but I've
Hmm.
admired her from afar and known that, we've seen her on Sweet 16,
Yeah.
and we've seen her around a lot of people. But until, like, your audience and you find your thing, it's not necessarily going to happen just because people, but that
Hmm.
does help, for sure.
Yeah, no, you couldn't have said it any better because it's so true. Like you see people, and by the way, I loved your vlog you did at the Tiana show because that show was amazing. I went to the show
It
in Chicago. That that
it
like
was crazy.
yeah, that show was one of the best. So I was happy you vlogged about. I did watch it. I was like, yo, that's a dope video.
Thank
Like,
you.
but growing up as well, because I know influences change so much. So right now, I guess, well, as a child or a teenager, who would you say were your biggest influences? And then right now, because new people do come into play. Who would you say your biggest influences right now?
I would say first, hey Cam, I see you in the comments. And then I would say, um, my influences. My mom was a big Janet Jackson fan, and so naturally I became a Janet Jackson fan, and I loved dancing. That was like the out of the many things I held on to the most was dancing. So, just her being innovative, like her, not just her music, but she was also an actress.
Hmm.
She also was able to, like, pivot every album. Like,
Yep.
she was a brand, you know what I mean? Not just an artist. So I absolutely adored her, and still to this day do. Today, awkwardly enough, and I'm gonna sound this gonna sound left, so stay with me in the
Okay.
spirit. Okay. Being as though we live in a different time, like Janet Jackson didn't have a YouTube channel, like
For
to
real.
jumpstart her career. Like that wasn't the
Hmm.
case. So when I look at people today that I draw inspiration from, it's people that are on platforms like that utilize them for their benefits. Um, I'm like trying to find my breath to say this out loud. A big someone that inspires me is JoJo Siwa.
That's real talk. That is real talk.
She is that girl. Okay.
For real.
She is that girl. She has the branding for it. She can pivot. She's in the position to go into the acting field and make a difference, and she has the audience for it. Her channel alone, and we're just talking about one platform, like
Yeah.
to the ability that she's been able to create moments and movements that are part of people's lives. To me, that's iconic.
Yeah.
That's pretty iconic. So I would say that. I think her branding, her marketing is amazing, and just how she rolls it out, like the whole thing is it's kind of crazy if you look
Yeah.
at it.
Well, you're so right because people won't will ever want to admit that, but it's so true because you look at all the different avenues. Like
Yeah.
it is, like you said, it blows my mind how she was doing like Dancing with the Stars while rehearsing for a tour, while still doing merchandise in Walmart and stores, and I mean vlogging and doing YouTube, and it's like, how do you do it all? I mean, and Dance with the Stars, that's a live, like tons of rehearsal I've heard, and
Yes.
very, regimented. So I agree with you. Like she is the,
Kind of
yeah, yeah, I can't disagree with you there. She's,
killing it
yeah. I mean, I don't listen to her music personally, I know, but everything else, like, and she's selling out arenas across the country, and
across the globe.
yeah,
Like
like,
it's ridiculous. So I respect her artistry, and I am inspired by it.
yeah, definitely. I
No
give you
one
kudos for
canceled
that.
me.
I give
No
you
one
kudos for
can.
that because it's so true.
Talking
Like,
about I see in the comments, it says, who are you talking about? We're talking, he asked me who did I find inspiration for, as a child growing up, and I said Jenny Jackson, and he, asking me who now, and I quietly, humbly, non-cancelly said JoJo Siwa, who is a young singer, entertainer, plus, 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 slash, slash. So,
well, one thing I love you did because I did this too in 2019. So I moved to LA in 2019, and I only moved back literally because of COVID, like, and a couple health issues. But I took that jump. I took two suitcases and was like, "Hey, it is what it is, and you just gotta go for it." Like, at least I know I could say I tried. If you don't try, you don't know.
and you can always try again if you want
Exactly.
to.
Exactly. You could always move back home or try again in another couple of years, or go out there every other month or every month at least a couple times. Like it's
But
very
exercising that muscle of trying is so imperative. So,
yes, because so many people don't take that leap. They say, "Oh, well, I don't know." It's like, well, none of us know, but I mean, if we all knew, it would be a pretty boring world
yeah.
if we all knew. But what was it like for you? Because I know you moved with two of your best friends, which is so awesome because I hear your story of how you all kind of like, are there for each other to support, and you all are kind of in the same industry, but still different things you each do.
Well, I first, it's amazing. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty amazing. Um, I, eh, I, I'm trying to figure out where to start. Jessica, who is one of my best friends, who I currently schemed them both into living with me in a house here in LA. She is amazing. We're all actresses, but Jessica models, and Lauren, who is the other friend, she is a Broadway star as well.
Hmm.
So we all have something that connects us. But Jessica, I just so happened to see she was moving here when I was moving here. That was someone I went to middle school with, and I saw it on Facebook, and I was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And we just kind of connected and stayed in touch. until my second year in LA. And I was like, I kind of want someone to room with, like, what's up? And
Hmm.
so that happened. And then Lauren was someone who I auditioned with frequently in Atlanta, and she moved to LA. And when I saw her move to LA, I was like, hey, can I come, kick it with you? I'm trying to finish a project in LA for like a month. And she was like, you can stay for like a week or two. And I was like, I understand. That was my crazy faith. Like that was my bold try of move. I wasn't thinking about moving until I came and I stayed with her, and I was taking her to set and, driving her around and, being in her world
Yeah.
made me realize that like my crackhead energy wasn't actually crazy, and that it was possible. And that was definitely like one of the final straws that was like, maybe I can just go there. So this was an evolution of, I didn't come here with two friends. This just happened to roll out like that, and I found my community, forcing them to to be with me in this space. But it's been the best time of my life for sure.
And that's awesome to hear, though, because I don't care what anyone says. It is hard to get acquainted with people in LA. It's a different, like, I never realized going to parties out there, like industry parties, and everyone's like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, whoa, you really,
That's it. That's the
that's
language.
that's the language. And I never believed it until I went to enough parties and every single person, what do you do? I'm like, oh, well, what's your IG? Can I see your followers? I'm like,
Yeah.
it's really, it's
Yeah.
really that. Like, it's a different breed
Yeah.
in LA. So that's awesome though. You had two friends though from, different places that weren't, because LA, I give people a
It's
lot of
different
credit.
for
Yeah.
sure, but I think a lot of once you find one or two people to kind of bounce off of, it's a lot easier to even go to things like parties. You know what I mean? So like we have this thing where sometimes it's nerve wracking, right? To sell yourself in a way. That's what it feels like when
Uh-huh.
you're introducing yourself. So we'll probably be out in Lauren and I and Jessica. Well, I'll be like, oh, this is Lauren. She's an actress. She's a star. And she'll gas me and introduce me, and we'll introduce each other. So it won't have that clammy feeling of I'm trying to boast about myself versus I'm
Hmm.
trying to let you know what level of actress I am, an artist, and how far along I am in the quickest time. Like
Yeah.
that's really it. So
That's dope though. That's super dope because it's
that
hard
definitely
to,
helps.
yeah, it helps because I've been there and it's like, it's intimidating. Like they're just
Yeah.
so bold with it. I'm just like, whoa, it's just,
Yes,
you
people
get,
are too.
yeah,
And I get
it's,
it because people shift their lives and move and from other countries, to come here and pursue this. So I get the aggression and I respect it, but it can definitely on the other side of that same coin be daunting and
yes.
intimidating.
Hmm. Well, especially too with, I feel like you just said, some people want to know because they're after the same craft. But then I was always leery of the people that were like the clout chasers. And I'm just like, okay, are you real? Is this? So it was like always scary to me. But I give you so much credit for that because it's fun. It's an exciting journey. And I think it's something that anyone in the entertainment industry should do or try.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Or
it's
move
just,
somewhere that
yeah.
is deals with what you desire to do, if it's entertainment. You know what I mean? Like move to Atlanta or move to New York. LA
Hmm.
was just my other place. Like if I wasn't already from Atlanta, I probably would have moved to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely. But I want to talk about the Great Escape tour.
yeah.
Man, that tour, I was the Chicago show, one of the best tours I've seen in a long time. And I mean, it was amazing from the second I walked in, June's Diary, got on
Yeah.
stage through, Zanik, Tamar, Monica, Escape. Like it was just energy the whole time. And one of the things I think I enjoyed the most was there was little intermissions. It was not,
Yeah.
some intermissions are like an
It was
hour
a
and you're
lot of
like,
acts. We had to get it in and out.
yeah, everyone had to get it in and out because you were on a time crunch. And I know you have to, between curfew and, but how was that? Because those were arenas and those weren't just small arenas. Those were the biggest arena, like the Chicago one, United Center. That's one of the biggest arenas in the country. And looking around and seeing every seat filled. Yeah.
It was so inspiring. It was so, it made me realize, like, it made me, and another one of those things moving from Atlanta to LA, like, it made me realize, like, I was dreaming a little too small. You know, like your world is a lot bigger than this. Like, these are arenas, these aren't theaters or halls. Like, these girls are
Hmm.
selling out. And it just let me know how, that me talking to myself. Like, girl, you could reign over a lot more territory than you're projecting yourself to do. So maybe you should reevaluate your goals. And that's what I definitely did while I was on tour. So I thank God for Tamar for that opportunity. Because
Yeah. What's one moment from that tour? Because that was what 2000. It began the end of
17,
2017 and
18,
went into a little the beginning of the
yeah.
year. I remember. What's one moment that you sticks out to you that you just will always stay with you? Like you're just like this is awesome.
It was a lot of things. To be honest, our off days were amazing. And but the thing was, like, with Escapes dancers and their crew and Monica's, like, we could never get on the same schedule to where we were off in the same city. Like, it was like, damn it, like, why didn't I get on your bus? So our crew, the Tamar Braxton crew, ended up in, like, I think Virginia on Thanksgiving. But we're off. Okay. And there's nothing open but, like, this one place, and it's like a Chinese buffet. And we're like, thank you so much for opening up for us because we're hungry and we don't know nothing around this place. And it's me, the dancers, the band, the crew, the stage crew. And that's when I first discovered plum wine.
Okay.
The bonding moments that we shared and the conversations that we had over that plum wine will hold a place in my heart, okay? And it showed me the value in treating your people well. You know what I mean? And, like, outside of, because as an artist, you think about your audience. And this made me redirect my focus on how do I want, when I have the opportunity to hire my friends and creatives, like, how do I want them to feel and them to treat, to be treated, because I can see it from being in that actual position.
Uh-huh.
So I think I learned a lot about that. But that was one moment I was like, how you take some moments, you step out of yourself, you're like, this is so beautiful. It
Yeah.
was one of those.
It's one of those moments. Okay,
I was
that's
like, I've
dope.
been
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
That's awesome. Yeah, that tour, like that was just I gave you all so much credit because y'all would run that was like a quick tour. You used to not have a
Yeah,
lot of off days. Like
yeah, no.
I even felt bad for each artist because their meet and greets were like all intertwined and had to get there super early for them and stay late for them. I was like, whoa, this is a lot to
The schedule was crazy.
yeah. And like after parties, I was just like, whoa, it's people don't understand. Like they think touring is all fun and dandy, but like it's not
You're
what
not
some people wish
sleeping.
for. Yeah, you're not sleeping. Exactly.
You're not sleeping.
Yeah, it's just work, work, work. So, but I give you total props for that, and just to experience that. That show was one for the books. I still have videos on my phone and my cameras from that. Yeah, but I know you also performed back in 2018 for Luda Day weekend. So, yeah,
Yes.
how was that for you? Because it's such a huge thing in Atlanta. I know Luda Day weekend is like a huge weekend to be out in Atlanta.
It was really fun, being as though I think that was, like, coming off of the tour. Was that
Hmm.
2018? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was my, like, first performance in a long time, and actually I had reached out to them because I was so excited about all the things I had learned on tour. I was excited for the music I had coming out, and I was like, "Do y'all need any performers?" So that was exciting, and um, just being able to put myself out there again, like, through the image of what I now know, like, that's always I felt like it was another chance for me to, like, reevaluate
Hmm.
what's going on here, So
Yeah.
I like that a lot, actually. Out of all things, performing on stage is actually, like, one of my favorites.
Yeah, those video I remember you were posting them on Instagram and it was super dope like because it's such a that's a monumental thing I feel for any artist or new artist because like if you don't know Luda Day, you kind of
Yeah.
sitting under a rock, at least in the industry. I think it's something very known, but it's so dope. But I know, like you said, you do vlogging on YouTube for your channel. What like, vlogging, it's a lot. People think
It's
it's
a
like one,
lot.
two, three. It's a
It's
lot
a
of work.
lot.
It's yeah, it is. People think like, oh, I want to vlog. I'm like, well, do you know how to edit? Do you have
Man.
lighting? Do you have
Man.
audio? Do
Yeah.
you have ideas? Because you could talk for a whole hour and no one's gonna watch because it's boring. You need the quick edits and quick moments. So, like, when did you know you were like, okay, I'm gonna take this seriously. I'm gonna, because people don't. I know so many friends and like, you know, people in the entertainment industry trying to do that, and I'm like, if you don't have it all together, don't start it. Start it when you know you have the
Agreed.
time or money to hire someone to edit and film it for you. Like, so when did you know, like, okay, I'm gonna do this and stay at
Well, I have to be honest. I was one of those people. Okay,
it?
I made the decision and the declaration so many times that this is what I was gonna do, and there is nothing else that anyone can do to stop me. Whoa! I like I can't quite remember. Maybe it was, to be honest, last year where I was like, okay, we're gonna do this and we're gonna be consistent, because if I don't, I'm never gonna be able to see what it could be. And to
Yeah.
be honest, YouTube has certain regulations now that you have to fall under within a time frame. So you have to acquire a certain amount of watch hours. So that was very
Mm-hmm.
pushing. I was like, okay,
Yep.
so I can't keep spacing this out because these aren't going to count 12 months from now.
Yep.
So, and you have to stay within that. That's like a constant guideline. So that was actually very motivating for me to decide, like, okay, we're gonna do this. It does help that I have, Lauren and Jessica in the house, and they love being on camera. They're great on camera. Like, being surrounding yourself to make it easy
Yeah.
was imperative for me. We had moved into this house last year. Like, the elements just got easier for me to be like, yes, yes, I'm gonna decorate my room so it can be vloggable. Like, yes,
Yeah. People
absolutely.
don't people don't get that. And I try to tell people, I'm like, but you did it, at least like you said you didn't know, but you did a good job of finessing like you knew what you were doing. That's the thing. Like if you know how to finesse it and make it look legit, but I know some people like, I'm like, you have no lighting. What
Yeah,
what are you
I,
doing?
I the biggest thing was looking at vlogs, because I didn't take I wanted to vlog, but I wanted to, I wasn't looking at vlogs and observing their angles and how their shots were. And once I started dissecting and being like uh, um uh, an actual participation in the YouTube,
Hmm.
community, then I started understanding, oh, this is how I could actually be successful. And I feel like a lot of times we go on platforms expecting to 1, 2, 3 our way to success versus truly being a part of the community, and you can tell the difference.
Yes. Well,
Yeah,
and I'm happy you said that about you need, that's when I remember when I started my page, like you need what 4,000 viewers every month and you need the 1,000 subscribers.
yeah,
Or people just think like, oh, I'm gonna go on YouTube and I'm gonna start making money. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't,
not the same. Not
it's not,
anymore.
yeah, not anymore. Before it was a little easier, but like you said, the regulations now, if you're not consistent, or if you don't have a hit video that's constantly watched over and over because it, blew up some way somehow, it's like
Yeah, you'll
it's a
pay.
part-time job. It's like a full-time
It
job, actually.
is. It with
Yeah,
that with editing, I definitely, and I like, sitting there and making the story happening. So editing taking like 8 hours for one video. I was like, Jesus, we're doing this. We're doing this. We're doing this.
for real. Yeah,
It's a
I'm so happy you
constant
said that.
decision. That's what I have to say. It's a constant declaration. We're
Yes,
doing this. Yeah.
yeah. It's like you were saying. It's the time where you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed. I could go to bed now, or I'll stay up and not sleep for 2 hours to make sure this is done.
Good. Yeah.
And you have to take that hour or two to do it, or else it won't get done. And it's just like, what was the point? It's something current. You have to get it out there, and no one's gonna care after. So yeah, it's big time. But this Sunday, actually Easter Sunday, Money and Cards has been out officially for 7 months.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Woo!
So yeah, September 17th, 2021, it premiered.
It did.
And so how does that just feel? Let alone, we'll get to the music video, but just knowing like it's been 7 full months, it's still, it's still out there. Because, today with music, it's like your song's released one day and they're like, oh, when's your next single? It's like, can we just live like the old times and let a song ride out for a year or two
Yeah.
before we even get an album? Like,
Yeah.
just enjoy the song.
I had discovered kind of, with my past singles that like I had to keep putting life into this. And so to be honest, even putting out the song was to like a push to be able to pitch the music video, to
Hmm.
say like, hey, this is a rolling ball, like see. So to even think about it, it's been 7 months. It's like, wow, that really has been that long. And even for the music video to come out now, um, it's mind blowing, to be honest, because I remember feeling the pressure of I have to do something this day, and then the
Hmm.
next day I need to be on tour.
Yeah.
So I thank God for the energy to be able to with last like those gaps of time. I
Hmm.
think that's the same patience that you have to have when you're doing YouTube. Like you have to have the energy with the time frame that it takes, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And did you know, like I said, you dropped a single in September 2021. Did you know, like, because not every single necessarily needs a video, or you may not think of it right away. Like, were you always from the get-go of the song, like, hey, I want to do a video, or was it kind of, halfway through where you thought, hey, song's still popping, I like it, let's do a video, like, let's do this.
I really put out this. We had the concept for the video. Melissa, the director, she brought it to me like maybe 5 months before the song released. And so we had this concept for the music video and we were pitching it actively. I only released the song to say, hey, this is a good song, and like it's out. It was
Uh-huh.
never oh, let's do a video. I was fully intending for this to be the one. And I was just hoping and praying that like the collab would be right. You know what I mean? Like that we
Yeah.
wouldn't just get a sponsor, we would get like a great sponsor. And so we were adjusting and stuff like that. But I put it out with intention that it would help our pitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all. Well, yeah, and it's so huge because I mean, Pinterest is not just a small little brand.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal, and like, and I think it's really dope that you said like you were pitching it because a lot of people always expect they want it given or they're gonna come to you, and it's like it's not how it works. I guess not
Not
even.
all
I
the
feel
time.
like even once you're established, sometimes it does, but most times you're always trying to pitch to them like, "Hey, does this work?" So how was that process for you? Because I know that people don't see that; they just see, "Oh my God, it was printed on Pinterest," and yeah, that's dope and all, but the work behind it, it's crazy.
It's a lot of meetings. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I will say I'm happy the Pinterest team, like they really gave us within certain ranks like creative control to do a lot of things. Like all the videos outside of the actual music video, I edited like because I was already doing YouTube, I knew, what it should look like. So I was excited that they let us do our thing. And like I said, it was a lot of meetings. It was rigorous. That was
Yeah.
actually the most rigorous part of the whole thing, was pitching it. And to be honest, Melissa, whenever I felt like she would get a little deflated in her confidence about it, I would be like, "Don't worry." And then whenever I would be a little down, she'd be like, "No, we're doing this." And even like I said, the me releasing the song was an ode to her, saying,
Hmm.
"This is happening. Like I promise, God is gonna come through." And we have like text messages, like, "No, this is gonna happen." They didn't email us back yet. That's okay. I got this email. Did you pitch to them? Like it was rigorous.
But that's dope though. And like to see it come to fruition and just now it's out there because it's been what almost 2 weeks since it's
Yeah,
premiered. What March 28th it
yeah.
premiered. So how did you? I know like you said you had the concept already, but who you chose. I know you chose Lauren and Kandi as your girls in the
Yeah.
video. So what did they say when you asked them, like, "Hey, I want you two to be, you know"?
Well, Lauren, she's here, so she was kind of with me during the whole process. So she
Okay.
was so game down to like clear her schedule and make sure she was available any day. Candy was the one who I wanted to make sure was available because she's filming The Shy and Housewives and so many things. But I called her before, honestly, we started pitching and just kind of ran it by her. I
Hmm.
knew she would be willing to do it, but I didn't quite know. Like, I just wanted her to know. Like, so after we solidified the deal with Pinterest, I called her and I was like, hey, Pinterest is going to back our project. Let me know your days in March. And she was like, Pinterest does music videos. And I was like, no, not necessarily, but this will be the first of its kind. And she was like, oh, okay. Well, you just, I'll send you the dates. I was like, okay, cool. She's an easy person. So I was excited about that.
That's so dope. Yeah, like it turned out amazing. Like, just want to tell you, like the whole creative process, and I'm so happy you had because so many videos today, they're so like wishy-washy and forgettable, and it's so dope. You had a theme, and you executed it, and you had different scenes and different scenery. Like it's what I remember of videos, because today a lot of artists don't make them. Like you think of Janet Jackson, she
Yeah.
had monumental videos that are engraved in our brain, and like your video, it's one of them. Like you look at it, you're like, yo, this is dope. This isn't just something you thought of a week ago when you just came
Yeah.
up with a quick, storyboard and did it. You actually, like you said, took time. You had a team. You had, a partnership. So like, just kudos to you for that, because videos are no game, and
They're not a game. I'm
I've
not
been on
gonna
a couple of
lie.
them. And ooh,
Even flying into Atlanta, we shot it at in Macon.
hmm.
So flying into Atlanta, I had like one day to rehearse, and then the next day was the music video. That's all we had. I'm like between Covina and like flying and filming, like this is all we got. We got 2 days to shoot this. I remember pulling up to the set, and I was like, seeing the trailers, the trucks for the crew. I was like, who paying them? Wait,
You,
wait a minute. Like, what they here for? Like, this video was the biggest cast, the biggest crew that I've ever, as an independent artist, been able to
hmm.
produce and pay and all. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah. And because like, and also I noticed like, most people that are independent, they'll use like clothes they currently have. No, you had to get, these were clothes for that time, that era that you needed. Like, it's not like anyone could just be like, oh yeah, let me get something from my closet and, bring it to the video. You needed a full wardrobe for not just yourself, your
For
whole crew,
everyone.
dancers. I mean, the whole ensemble. You
Yeah.
needed that.
Melissa,
So,
I will say, was very particular about holding a certain standard with the look, and so when I realized she wasn't gonna quite budge, I was like, who could really pull this off? My mother. I was like, she used to do Mardi Gras. She used to make wedding gowns. Like she could really do the all the dresses, and she did. She
man.
costumed and did everybody. She was like, how many outfits y'all need? I was like, 15. She was like, okay.
I got you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like you murdered that. Like,
Thanks.
congrats on that, because that's huge. Like, especially being independent and just seeing it was so well done and amazing. But what have you learned, I guess, so far? Because you're still accomplished so much. You still have not at the same time. I know, especially in your own head, you're your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
With I did this. Like we're always. I feel like everyone in this industry is like, okay, I did this. What do I got to do? Like, what's next? What's next? Rather than just living in the moment. So, what's one thing you learned just so far from this crazy industry? And like you said, you do everything. You acting, singing, dancing. You have a great personality, so you do your vlogging. And how, what's one thing you just really learned, because it's a beast.
Um, I would say, I feel like this goes for anybody who is multi, faceted, right? Like the ability to pivot in these moments, because like, one day it could be an opportunity in this, and then one day it could be an opportunity, like the ability to pivot, and then also being sure what I want to do and what I don't want to do. So when these opportunities do come, I don't take everyone.
Yeah.
Like, because not everyone is the one. Those two things I think are the most valuable lesson that I've learned for sure. Because
That's dope.
it takes a lot of adjusting. Like, even with the music video, we're talking about, we're pitching, but we're pitching to so many different brands. Every time we say, hey, do you want to collaborate? We have to change our deck to fit whatever their company believes in,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever their team is currently working on for the year, for quarter one, for like, oh,
Yeah.
oh,
It's a
oh,
beast.
it's a beast. Oh,
Yeah.
but it was worth it. Like, but that was we had to keep reimagining what the video could look like,
Mm-hmm.
and what kind of deliverables I could provide as a creator to a brand, on their platform. So even with the music video, we premiered it on Pinterest, but I became a creator on the platform, and I had certain, posts that I had to make. I had some personal on Instagram I had to make. Like, these are the things that came along with it that I had to package with them. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's a lot of work. It's people think it's all, like I said, peaches and cream, but like you said, it's all worth it in the end. It definitely
it
is. But
is.
also I know you have a new role in the family business.
Yes.
So tell me how long, because that's another thing people don't understand. They think you get a role and it's just quick. Like, how long was the process? Like, how long did you audition? Was it a quick, like, they want you? Was it a long, multiple auditions? How was it for you?
Well, I probably only say this once on this live, but I've whew, I've been auditioning for years. Like, in between releasing music and stuff. It's funny enough when people are like, what do you like doing most? I'm like, whatever is in the forefront. But acting has never really gotten its moment to be in the forefront of my life, because I just never have been graced with the opportunity quite yet on a big platform, right?
Hmm.
So for years I have been auditioning, even moving to LA and doubling down, making sure I was in class like weekly, and studying plays, and oh my gosh, doing the things, right? Um, my agent calls me, or he texts me in January. He's like, "Hey, they want to direct book you for the show." I said, I, like, direct, like, you don't want me to put up a tape, like, I'm in my head. I'm like, but I can, like, they like, you don't want to see what I got. I
Yeah.
can, like, let me audition. I got it. I will say, for this particular thing, I actually didn't put up a tape for it, which is odd and one of one, right? But I feel like God just kind of graced me and said, "Hey, for the last 1,000, I'm gonna give you
Yeah.
this one."
That's
And,
amazing. Yeah.
it was mind blowing. So that was in January, and he sent me all the information. It was very quick, very fast paced turnaround and stuff. Like, it was a lot of adjusting, and I was like, oh, okay. They're the crew and the cast is very nice and very safe. So, like I
Yeah.
said, I'm shooting Money in Cars music video. In between this, I gotta make sure that I'm back in LA so I can COVID test enough times so I can be on set.
Hmm.
Um, and it's just been magical. Like, it's my first reoccurring role on a significant show. It's those things that kind of are, like, that they could propel you into other areas. So I'm
Yep.
excited to see what's to come from it, for sure.
Yeah. That's amazing though to hear like you just got a direct hire on it. That's yeah, that's like the best news ever. Like you
It's the
said,
best
you
news
want to
ever.
show, like, no, I'll show you what I could do. Like, no, you don't even have to do that. Like,
I
so
mean, it's literally one of one. It was very divine the way it happened. So that's why I say I'm like only gonna probably say this once, because I know how much work it requires, and I would never want to mislead someone to thinking these things are likely, but because they're
hmm.
never really likely, and this was very unlikely for me. Like, it was,
Yeah.
God definitely made room for the past years. I've been auditioning for things that I've gotten close to, like, we're not talking just like no callback. We're talking you or someone else, them.
Yeah, right. Yep. because it's like you said, it's usually 1,000 no's and that one yes. I mean,
In a
it's true.
literal thousand, not
Yeah,
like an abstract.
yeah, yeah. It's real talk. Like people don't get it, but I don't want to take all your time. I have three final questions to ask you because I
Yeah,
know you've had a long day as well. Because you've been,
it's been a
I
good
know
day though, and
it's been
you're
a good
amazing.
day. Oh,
You're
thank you. I
really
appreciate
amazing.
it.
Just the stuff that I know you've already seen because of the way you're framing your like you're amazing, and I appreciate you so much.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I try. I try my hardest to, and I always try not to ask you like the same
Yeah, no, no, no,
questions you've
you're
been
killing me.
asked all day.
You're
Like,
killing it.
yeah, because I know artists get bored with, okay, I would just ask it like 10 times. I know the certain question you have to ask every time, but,
Yes.
try to be different. One,
No, you
feel,
are. You're doing
refreshed.
amazing.
But, you know, have you ever thought of, because your personality, you have such an amazing personality. Like, and I always say that with certain artists where, you have certain artists that they're kind of like antisocial. They just want to sing and they don't want the fame or meet and greets. And I'm not gonna say no artists in particular, but there's a lot out there. But you have the whole package. You have like the personality. Like you're very extroverted. You like to meet people. You're very, like even with your vlogs and the TikToks you make with
Yeah.
you and your best friends. Like you're out. You have that personality for singing, acting. Just your person. Like is would reality TV ever be something you would be interested in? Because I know it is a blessing and a curse because
Yes.
editing is a beast, and people don't get editing is basically what can make you the best person on the
Yes.
show or the biggest
Yes.
enemy and hated, on the show.
Um, I will. I'll speak for my today self, like my 26-year-old self. Would back to when I'm like, I know what I want and I know what I don't want. I enjoy telling certain stories and being a part of that narrative for scripted TV. And I know reality TV, it hinders your
Yeah,
ability to be able to pursue, scripted television and movies and stuff. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to do a kind no.
okay.
But that's why I did the YouTube because that was a place where I could still present myself and show the
Hmm.
things that I wanted to show, but I had control over the story. So
Yeah,
it wasn't a reality show where I was watching with everyone else what I looked like. Like I can see myself back on camera, and there's vlogs that I've recorded, and it's taught me about myself. Like, oh, why do I, make that face when, wait a minute, it's taught me how to be a better person and adjust like my
hmm.
attitudes and stuff. Like you don't see it until you see it back. So,
Big time.
oh my gosh. So I would never want to discover that and learn myself in front of people in that way.
Yeah.
That's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a crazy beast, and I get it where some people I know will do anything for their little 15 minutes, but it's like you said, the longevity,
Yeah.
it's like a 50-50 thing with reality TV. But it is sometimes a blessing for some people.
It really is. Like,
Yeah,
for Kandi, like it's literally a legacy.
yeah,
For the Braxton show, like that was literally amazing. And so I don't definitely I'm a fan of it
yeah.
in ways like, but for the things that I know I want to do right now that I'm working on and working towards, I'm just gonna stick to YouTube. I'm gonna stick to YouTube.
I don't blame you because I'm the same way. I only unless I had creative control and I was seeing everything that was being produced and all the edits because that is the true. Yeah, it very messy, very quick, and I don't like messy. I like to be in control, and yeah.
I would say if I was to ever step out in a way of like, you know how they did like the Cardi B tries
Hmm.
show, like in a travel show of sorts or a hosting stuff. I would like to do stuff like that.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
and then you could still show your personality, and
yeah,
it's still very
but it's not about my life,
exactly.
my
Yeah,
love life, which is already like it's already going to be ghetto because that's
but
what love does. It just ghettos itself.
yes,
So
it's so
I
true.
need some protection for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But it's so funny you say that. But I know you've been working like your butt off, and I know you just went to Disney World and Universal. How was that just to get away from, everything? Because I feel like a lot of people don't take the time to, go on vacation. You need to go on that needed week or two just to stop from every email and text message and, you know, meeting.
This is true. I will say I believe in needed vacations and time away. Orlando for me actually wasn't a complete getaway because I was actually there to supervise the children. Quick backstory: back when we were talking about career, life and career. Um, I simultaneously, while I'm pursuing, being an entertainer full time, I nannied
Okay.
and watched little humans for a living, and I honestly did it up until like the pandemic, like on and off, here and there, traveling. A lot of my traveling came from background dancing, but also
Hmm.
traveling as a nanny, like going to Japan and Tokyo, like crazy stuff.
Good perks.
Um, so I don't necessarily do it anymore because I'm, God willing, able to do entertainment full time now.
Yeah. The
But
biggest blessing, the biggest
oh,
blessing ever. Like,
oh my God, it's a lot of adjusting. But I will say, I'll do anything for Kandi. And she called me and was like, "Hey," I was like, "You taking a trip, ain't you?" And she was, she just shot my music video. Like, what was I supposed to say? That was kind of like a work vacation trip. I definitely always enjoy myself around her and the family, like, and just for her to be able to let me in that way, and they're great kids. So yeah, that was
that's
a
awesome.
for me.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with Disneyland and Universal. I'm not gonna lie. I've been there
Literally.
every year since I was little, like a baby. So I love any chance I could. I guess I appreciate it now, being older, than I did when I was little. So it's
Especially
always a good
going
time.
in a bigger way. Like we don't gotta stand in lines. We got a tour guide. Like this is the way to do it.
Yes,
It
it is
was
the way to
kind of
do it.
legit. It was pretty awesome. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely. I can only imagine. But you know, I know this year it's crazy. Like it's halfway through the year almost. Like June's about to be here. I'm about to be halfway through the year, and and we're mostly out of this somewhat pandemic. I feel we're, LA's open,
Yeah.
Chicago's open, Atlanta's been open, New York's
Never
open.
close.
Yeah. But what, what are your visions for the rest of this year? Like, what's some things you have, you want to check off for the rest of this year that may not necessarily you have to do, but just some
Mhm.
ideas you want to do?
Um, I of course want to release the project that pairs with Money and Cars.
Okay.
We have amazing songs, and I finally feel like I'm sonically sound like how I look and present myself, like the pieces that I like. And I'm excited for that project. It's the greatest music I've ever created, and I keep telling everybody this music video was my audition for Bridgerton season 3. So clearly, the rest of my year is going to be spent in London filming
Gotta put in the universe. Yes.
for season 3. I really pray that I'm going from set to set though. I
Okay.
enjoy my time, and I'm enjoying my time now full time creating, and I still feel like there's so much learning to do. So I'm grateful to go from set to set, back to back. That's the dream for the rest of this year.
Yeah, and it's awesome, like you were saying, you could dedicate everything to your career and your passion. Because I feel like when you could quit the day job or the side job to focus completely, like, yes, you still have to make it more and more, but you've made it already with it's like one big check off
Yeah.
of a lot of people's lists, I feel, is to make it and where you can literally dedicate to going to auditions and, being in the studio, creating music and not being, oh, okay, I need to go because I have this to do. Like, you have the time and energy. But last, music wise, how many songs would you say you have in your vault? Because I know every artist has tons of music where you may not have even completed some, or it
Right.
hasn't
I'm
been
like,
mastered,
specifically
or
the
yeah, there's so much.
woo. You know what? I would really be lying to you if I gave you a number. I would be literally lying out of my teeth if I gave you a number. But because I have, songs that I've released. I do this. I do Facebook collection songs, which is kind of like free royalty music
Hmm.
for the Facebook platform for you to use behind music videos and stuff like that. So I do those, like the jingles. Like I'm trying to add it up in my head. Two minus the three. It's a lot of songs. It's a lot of things.
It's awesome. But no, I just want to thank you so much, Jazmine. Can't wait to see what else you do. Like you've already done so much and accomplished so much. Congrats on all your success so far.
Thank you.
And is there anything else you want to say to the viewers, or I know is this your last interview of the night?
This is the last whoop whoop.
Okay, yeah.
I'm about to go get some sushi and plum wine. No. The last thing I would say is follow me. I have a sad obsession to Instagram, so support my therapist in my sessions. I'm going to her in regards to my sad obsession to Instagram. We're so proud of you. Can't wait for more. Thank you so much. A lot more to come, and I just follow me to stay along for the journey. People are like, "What's next?" I'm like, "I guess we both about to see," because I don't necessarily know everything, but yeah.
Well, no, I really do hope to meet you one day in either LA, because I'm always bouncing back and forth to LA and
Come
Chicago.
on, hit
Yeah.
it. Let's
So
go.
I'll definitely message you.
Let's go get Frank's.
Right? Yeah, I'm gonna be out there soon, so I'll definitely message you. Um, but best of luck. Like I said, stay in touch and stay safe. And everyone, go watch Money and Cars right now on YouTube as well. Go stream it, purchase it.
You know
And
that.
hold on, one last thing I want to tell you though. I loved your video reaction when Money and Cars premiered, and you were like, "Yo, I'm new on Apple Music. Like, it's new on R&B." I loved it because it excited me. Like, you don't get to see that enough.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
awesome. I'm so happy
yeah.
you put that out there because it's a big deal. Like, and to
I
see your
was not.
name, yeah, it's awesome. Like,
Thanks.
it's huge. So, congrats, and definitely talk soon.
Definitely. Bye, guys. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
everyone.
Bye, bye.